What if the greatest battle of your life is not against the world, but against the comforting lies you tell yourself and the foolishness you willingly allow into your mind? The world encourages us to seek comfort and avoid friction. The Stoics knew that true power and mental clarity are forged only when we have the courage to embrace hard truths and the wisdom to avoid fools. Embrace truth, avoid fools. Stoic Fire, Mental Power, compiled and published by Stoic Ruler. Lesson 1. Recognizing the power of truth. Imagine you are lost in a vast, dark cave, fumbling in the blackness. Your mind is filled with fear and confusion. Then you strike a single match. The flame is small, perhaps fragile, but in an instant, its light banishes the darkness. It doesn't eliminate the entire cave, but it allows you to see the path immediately in front of you, to identify the obstacles, and to take the next safe step. This flame is truth. The inner conflict we all face is a deep and powerful aversion to this flame. We often prefer the familiar darkness of a comfortable lie to the harsh, illuminating light of a difficult truth. We would rather believe what feels good than what is real. The fundamental problem with this preference for comfortable falsehoods is that you cannot build a strong life on a weak foundation. A life built on lies about your own capabilities, the health of your relationships, the reality of your financial situation, or your own bad habits, is like a house built on a sinkhole. It may look stable for a while, but it is destined for a sudden and catastrophic collapse. Avoiding truth doesn't make you safe. It makes you incredibly fragile and vulnerable. It prevents you from making wise decisions because you are operating with a faulty map of reality. It keeps you stuck in destructive patterns because you refuse to acknowledge their existence. This avoidance of truth is the very definition of weakness. The transformative solution is to adopt the mindset of a truth seeker. It is to decide that you will embrace truth in all its brutal and beautiful forms as the only solid foundation upon which to build a life of strength, resilience, and success. The core Stoic idea is that philosophy is a love of wisdom, and wisdom is impossible without a relentless commitment to seeing reality as it is, not as we wish it were. A Stoic trains themselves to welcome truth, even when it is painful. They understand that the short-term sting of a difficult truth is infinitely preferable to the long-term poison of a comforting lie. They would rather have the small, bright flame of reality than the vast, comfortable darkness of self-deception. You can begin to cultivate this powerful mindset with the practice of radical honesty, directed inward. The first actionable step is to create a truth journal. Once a week, set aside 15 minutes and ask yourself this one courageous question. What is one truth about myself or my life that I have been actively avoiding? Write down the answer without censorship or judgment. Are you avoiding the truth about your health, your job, a specific relationship? Simply acknowledging the truth on paper is a powerful first step in robbing it of its terrifying power. The second step is to practice receiving feedback without defensiveness. The next time someone offers you criticism, your only job is to listen, say thank you for your perspective, and then evaluate it privately later. This trains you to see feedback not as an attack, but as potentially valuable data. The benefits of embracing truth are the benefits of living in reality. You will be able to solve your problems because you will finally be willing to see them clearly. You will build relationships based on a foundation of genuine trust and authenticity. Your self-respect will soar because you will know you are a person with the courage to face reality. You will make better, more effective decisions in every area of your life because you will be operating with an accurate map. You will become a source of clarity and strength for others, a person known for their integrity. Your practice for this lesson is to start your truth journal tonight. Ask the question and have the courage to write down the answer. Once you commit to living in the truth, you will quickly realize that you must protect your mind from the pervasive influence of foolishness. In our next lesson, we will explore the Stoic art of navigating the fool's influence. If you are ready to embrace the power of truth, please like this video. Lesson 2. Navigating the fool's influence. Imagine you are the captain of a ship. navigating through a perilous sea filled with pirates. These pirates do not always fly a skull and crossbones. Often, they fly the false flags of friendship, entertainment, or casual conversation. The wise captain must develop a keen ability to discern the true nature of the ships they encounter, knowing that allowing a pirate vessel to get too close could lead to disaster. In our lives, fools are these pirate ships. The inner conflict we face is our desire to be polite, to get along with everyone, and to avoid social friction. This desire often leads us to grant access to our minds and our time to people whose influence is profoundly negative. We want to be nice, so we entertain the foolish. The problem is that prolonged exposure to foolishness is a slow-acting poison that corrupts your mind and drains your power. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus warned his students to be exceedingly careful about whom they associated with, because character is contagious. He said that if you associate with a person covered in soot, you cannot help but get some soot on yourself. When you spend time with people who are cynical and negative, their worldview begins to infect yours. When you immerse yourself in gossip and petty drama, your mind learns to focus on the trivial and loses its capacity for deep, purposeful thought. When you are around people who embrace a victim mentality, you begin to lose your own sense of agency. The fool's influence is not a dramatic attack, but a relentless, low-grade bombardment that lowers your standards, drains your energy, and pulls you away from your own path of virtue. The transformative solution is to become a discerning and strategic captain of your own ship. It is to understand that protecting your mind from the influence of foolishness is one of your most important duties. The core Stoic idea here is not about arrogance or judging others as inferior. It is a practical recognition of human nature and a strategic allocation of your most precious resources, your time and your attention. You have a finite amount of these resources each day. To spend them engaged in foolishness is to squander the very fuel you need to build a good life. The solution is to learn to identify the ships of fools and to skillfully and peacefully navigate around them, preserving your own course and your own cargo. You can begin this practice of strategic navigation with a few clear, actionable steps. The first is to conduct a social audit. Over the next week, pay close attention to how you feel after your social interactions. Which people leave you feeling energized, inspired, and more intelligent? These are your allies. Which people leave you feeling drained, negative, or agitated? These are the potential pirates. Your audit will give you a clear map of the sea. The second step is to practice the gray rock method when you are forced to interact with a source of foolishness. This means becoming as boring and unresponsive as a gray rock. When someone starts to gossip, give non-committal answers. I see, okay. Do not add fuel to the fire. They will quickly grow bored and find another audience. This allows you to disengage without causing a direct conflict. The benefits of learning to navigate the fool's influence are immense. You will reclaim a vast amount of mental and emotional energy that was previously being drained away. Your mindset will become more positive, more focused, and more aligned with your own goals. You will find that the quality of your own thoughts improves as you are no longer being contaminated by the irrationality of others. You will have more time and energy to invest in relationships with people who truly elevate and support you. Your practice for this lesson is to identify one source of foolishness in your life. This week, consciously apply the gray rock method to that interaction. Be boring. Be unresponsive. Protect your peace. To navigate the fool's influence effectively, you must cultivate your own inner wisdom. In our next lesson, we will explore the Stoic mindset for building this essential virtue. To continue this journey, please subscribe to Stoic Ruler. Lesson 3. Cultivating Stoic Wisdom. Imagine a master gardener tending to a vast, beautiful garden. Their skill is not just in knowing how to plant a single flower. Their wisdom lies in understanding the entire ecosystem, the quality of the soil, the interplay of sun and shade, the symbiotic relationship between different plants, the changing of the seasons. Wisdom is not a single piece of knowledge. It is the cultivated understanding of the whole system. Your life is this garden, The inner conflict we face is our modern confusion between information and wisdom. We believe that if we accumulate enough facts, read enough books, or consume enough content, we will become wise. We believe wisdom is about what we know. The problem with this mindset is that knowledge without character is just a more sophisticated form of foolishness. You can memorize every quote from Marcus Aurelius. You can be able to explain the dichotomy of control perfectly. But if you do not embody these principles in your daily actions, if you still lose your temper, if you are still a slave to your appetites, if you still fear what is outside your control, then you are not wise. You are merely a well-educated fool. This intellectual-only approach to philosophy can actually be counterproductive. It can lead to a form of arrogance, where you believe you are superior because of what you know, while your actual life remains a chaotic and undisciplined mess. The transformative solution is to embrace the Stoic understanding that wisdom, Sophia, is not something you have, but something you do. It is a practical, embodied virtue. It is the art of applying your knowledge to live a good, happy, and meaningful life. The core Stoic idea is that wisdom is the chief of the four virtues, the one from which the others, courage, justice, and temperance, flow. It is the ability to correctly discern what is truly good, virtue, what is truly bad, vice, and what is indifferent, everything else. This discernment is not a theoretical exercise. It is a practical skill that must be honed every single day through real-world decisions and actions. The goal is not to be a philosopher, but to live philosophically. You can begin to cultivate this practical wisdom with two foundational habits. The first is to change the way you read. Read philosophy not for the purpose of accumulating information, but for the purpose of personal transformation. After you read a powerful passage, put the book down. Ask yourself this one crucial question: how can I apply this single idea to my life today in a small but concrete way? Then go and do that. This practice transforms reading from a passive consumption into an active dialogue with the great minds of the past. The second practice is the daily wisdom review. As part of your evening reflection, look back on the key decisions you made during the day. Ask yourself, was that a wise choice? Was it guided by reason and my highest values, or by emotion and impulse? What would have been a wiser course of action? The benefits of cultivating true Stoic wisdom are the benefits of becoming the master gardener of your own life. You will make better, more effective decisions in every area. You will find that your life becomes more coherent and purposeful as your actions begin to align with your deepest understanding of the world. You will develop a quiet, solid confidence based not on what you know, but on how you live. You will become a source of clarity and sound judgment for your family and your community. You will be living the philosophy, not just talking about it. Your practice for this lesson is to take one Stoic idea you have learned. Today, find one small opportunity to actively apply it. Wisdom requires a foundation of self-control. Without it, even the wisest person can be undone by their own impulses. In our next lesson, we will explore the strength found in self-control. Let us know in the comments one piece of wisdom you are working to apply in your own life. Lesson 4. Strength in self-control. Imagine a powerful wild river, its waters raging and overflowing its banks, causing chaos and destruction. This is its raw, untamed power. Now, imagine that same river, its force channeled and contained by a massive, well-built hydroelectric dam. The river's power has not been diminished. It has been concentrated. This contained force can now be harnessed to generate immense constructive energy, capable of powering an entire city. Your own will, your passions, and your appetites are this powerful river. Your self-control is this dam. The inner conflict we face is our tendency to see self-control or temperance as a boring and restrictive act of self-denial. We see it as a force that diminishes our power and our enjoyment of life. The fundamental problem with this view is that a lack of self-control is not freedom, it is slavery. A person who cannot control their appetites is a slave to the food and drink that rules them. A person who cannot control their temper is a slave to anyone who knows how to provoke them. A person who cannot control their impulse for comfort and distraction is a slave to their own weakest desires. This lack of control makes it impossible to achieve any meaningful long-term goal. The undisciplined river of your energy floods its banks, dissipating into a muddy, stagnant swamp of failed projects, poor health, and broken relationships. It is a life of immense, wasted potential. The transformative solution is to embrace the Stoic mindset that self-control, temperance, is not a restriction on your power, but the very mechanism by which your power is harnessed. It is the practice of building the dam so that the immense force of your own will can be directed toward a constructive, chosen purpose. The core Stoic idea is that temperance is one of the 4 cardinal virtues, essential for a good life. It is the virtue that makes all other virtues possible. You cannot be courageous if you are a slave to your fear. You cannot be just if you are a slave to your greed. You cannot be wise if you are a slave to your distractions. Self-control is the strength that allows your reason to sit firmly on the throne of your mind. You can begin to build the dam of self-control with the practice of small, voluntary acts of self-denial. The Stoics were masters of this. First, practice it with food. Occasionally, deliberately fast for a meal or eat a very simple plain meal when you could afford something more luxurious. This is not about diet. It is about proving to yourself that you are the master of your appetite, not the other way around. Second, practice it with comfort. Take a cold shower instead of a hot one. Choose to walk or bike when you could easily drive. This builds your resilience against the siren song of ease. Third, practice it with your impulses. The next time you feel the urge to check your phone for a notification, deliberately wait a full 5 minutes. This small act of defiance against your own impulsive brain strengthens your will. The benefits of building strength and self-control are the benefits of becoming a truly powerful and effective human being. You will be liberated from the slavery of your own impulses. You will find that your ability to focus, to persevere, and to achieve your long-term goals increases dramatically. You will develop a profound sense of self-respect and dignity, knowing that you are the one in charge of your own actions. You will become a person of immense reliability and strength, both to yourself and to others. Your practice is to choose one small, voluntary act of self-control to perform tomorrow. Feel the quiet power in choosing the harder path. Self-control is essential for our next topic: building the mental clarity needed to see the world as it truly is. Share this video if you are ready to harness your own power. Lesson 5. Building mental clarity. Imagine a master lens maker, patiently and meticulously grinding and polishing a piece of raw glass. Their goal is to remove every imperfection, every distortion, every smudge, until the lens is perfectly clear, allowing light to pass through it without being bent or obscured. Only with this perfectly clear lens can a true and accurate image of the world be formed. Your mind is this lens. The inner conflict we face is that we spend our lives looking at the world through a lens that is perpetually foggy, smudged, and distorted. It is clouded by our biases, our unexamined beliefs, our emotional reactions, and our mental clutter. We wonder why our lives feel confusing and out of focus, failing to realize that we have never done the work of cleaning our own lens. The problem with this lack of mental clarity is that it is the root of almost all of our poor decisions and unnecessary suffering. A blurry mind cannot set effective priorities. It cannot distinguish between a real threat and an imagined one. It cannot solve complex problems because it cannot even see them clearly. It cannot be fully present in relationships because it is always looking through a fog of its own projections and insecurities. A life lived with a cluttered mind is a life of hazy confusion, constant reactivity, and a feeling of being perpetually overwhelmed. You cannot build a life of purpose if you cannot see the path in front of you with clarity. The transformative solution is to commit to the daily, disciplined practice of cleaning your mental lens. It is the Stoic art of sweeping away the mental clutter, challenging your own biases, and striving to see the world and yourself with objective, rational clarity. The core Stoic idea is that wisdom, the chief virtue, is impossible without clarity. You cannot apply your reason to a situation that you do not first perceive accurately. Therefore, a huge part of Stoic practice is dedicated to rituals and exercises designed to achieve this clear seeing. They knew that a clear mind is a powerful mind, a mind that is prepared to act with virtue and effectiveness. You can begin to build this mental clarity with 2 foundational morning habits. The first is the brain dump, as we have discussed before. For 5 to 10 minutes upon waking, write down everything that is on your mind. All your anxieties, your to-do items, your resentments, your fragments of ideas. Get it all out of your head and onto the paper. This single act is like taking a cleaning cloth and wiping away all the accumulated dust and smudges from your lens. It creates an incredible sense of space and calm. The second practice, to be done immediately after, is priority identification. Now that your mind is clear, you can look at the day ahead with focus. Ask yourself, amongst all the noise, what 1 or 2 things are truly important and within my control today? Write them down. This is the act of focusing the now clean lens on a specific worthy target. The benefits of building a habit of mental clarity are profound. You will move through your day with a sense of purpose and focus that feels like a superpower. You will feel your stress and overwhelm decrease dramatically, as you will have separated the true signals from the mental noise. You will make better, faster decisions, because you will be operating from a place of clarity rather than confusion. Your creativity and problem-solving abilities will increase as your mind becomes uncluttered. You will become a source of clarity for those around you, a person people turn to for a clear-headed perspective. Your practice for this lesson is to commit to the 5-minute brain dump every morning for 1 week. Experience the power of a clean lens. Once your mind is clear, you will be better equipped to face one of the greatest obstacles to living a true life, the fear of judgment. In our next lesson, we will explore how to conquer this fear. Lesson 6. Conquering the fear of judgment. Imagine a lion walking with a slow, powerful, and deliberate pace through the tall grass of the savannah. A flock of sheep, grazing nearby, sees the lion and begins to bleat with anxiety and disapproval. They whisper to each other about the lion's ferocity, its nonconformity, its dangerous nature. The lion hears them. It pauses for a moment, turns its massive head, looks at the flock of bleating sheep, and then, with complete and utter indifference, continues on its path. The opinion of the sheep is irrelevant to the nature of the lion. The inner conflict we face is that we are often lions who live with a deep, primal fear of the judgment of the sheep. We crave their approval, and we are terrified of their disapproval. The fundamental problem with the fear of judgment is that it is the primary enforcer of conformity and the greatest enemy of a true and authentic life. This fear keeps us from speaking our truth. It stops us from pursuing an unconventional career path. It prevents us from leaving an unhealthy but socially acceptable relationship. It makes us hide our true thoughts, our true desires, and our true selves behind a mask of agreeableness, all to appease a flock of opinions that are, in the grand scheme of things, completely insignificant. This fear is the cage that keeps the lion from being a lion. It is a voluntary surrender of your own power and your own soul. The transformative solution is to cultivate a profound, rational indifference to the opinions of others, and to anchor your sense of worth so deeply in your own character that the praise or blame of the outside world becomes as irrelevant as the bleating of sheep to a lion. The core Stoic idea here is that the opinions of other people are the ultimate indifferent. They are completely outside of your control. They are often based on ignorance or jealousy, and they have absolutely no bearing on your actual character or worth. A good man is a good man, even if the whole world thinks he is a villain. A corrupt man is a corrupt man, even if the whole world thinks he is a saint. Your character is your reality. Their opinion is just noise. You can begin to conquer this fear with the Stoic practice of voluntary discomfort applied to the social realm. First, you must desensitize yourself to the sting of judgment through small, low-stakes exposure. Deliberately and consciously do something harmless that might attract mild disapproval. Wear an unusual outfit. Publicly admit you don't like a very popular movie or band. Ask a stupid question in a meeting. The goal is to feel the small sting of social friction and to consciously observe that you survive, that nothing terrible happens. You are training your nervous system to understand that disapproval is not a real threat. Second, practice internally reaffirming your own inner scorecard. When you feel the fear of judgment, pause and remind yourself, their opinion is outside my control. My own integrity is within my control. I will focus only on acting in accordance with my principles. The benefits of conquering the fear of judgment are the benefits of true liberation. You will feel an immense weight lifted from your shoulders. You will gain the courage to pursue your true passions and to live a life that is authentic to you, not a performance for others. Your creativity and self-expression will flourish. You will build deeper, more honest relationships because you will no longer be hiding behind a mask. You will become the lion, walking your own path with a quiet, unshakable confidence, completely indifferent to the noise from the sidelines. Your practice is to identify one small, harmless way you can invite mild disapproval this week. Do it and pay close attention to the feeling of liberation that follows the initial discomfort. This fearlessness allows you to harness your ambition, your inner fire, for success on your own terms. In our final lesson, we will explore this powerful dynamic. Lesson 7. Harnessing inner fire for success. Imagine the flame of a cutting torch. It is a thing of immense power, focused into a single white-hot point, capable of slicing through solid steel. Its power comes from its intense concentration and control. Now imagine a wild, uncontrolled bonfire, its flames leaping chaotically in all directions, consuming everything indiscriminately and quickly burning itself out. Both are fire, but one is a tool of masterful creation and the other is a force of mindless destruction. Your ambition, your drive, your passion, this is your inner fire. The inner conflict we face is our tendency to either suppress our fire for fear of its power or to let it burn as an uncontrolled bonfire, leading to burnout, obsession, and destructive behavior. The problem with an uncontrolled inner fire is that it is just another form of foolishness. Unbridled ambition, detached from virtue, leads to ruthlessness and a disregard for others. A passion for success that is not tempered by reason can lead to burnout, broken health, and ruined relationships. This uncontrolled fire, while it may achieve some external results, ultimately consumes the very person who wields it. It is a powerful force, but without the direction of a wise mind, it becomes a destructive one. It is not enough to have fire. You must become the master of your fire. The transformative solution is to learn to harness your inner fire like the master craftsman wields the cutting torch. It is the practice of channeling your ambition and your passion with the discipline, reason, and wisdom of a Stoic. The core Stoic idea is not to extinguish the fire. The great Stoics were not passive men. They were generals, senators, playwrights, and powerful leaders. They had immense inner fire. But their fire was controlled by reason and directed only toward virtuous and purposeful goals. They understood that passion should be the fuel, but reason must be the pilot. Your inner fire, when harnessed by your Stoic mindset, becomes an unstoppable force for good in your own life and in the world. You can begin to harness your inner fire with a powerful clarifying practice. Before you embark on any ambitious goal, you must align it with your virtues. Take out your journal and ask these questions. 1. In pursuit of this goal, how will I practice wisdom, e.g., through clear thinking and learning? 2. How will I practice courage, e.g., by facing setbacks without despair? 3. How will I practice justice, e.g., by treating others with fairness and integrity along the way? 4. How will I practice temperance, e.g., by avoiding burnout and maintaining balance? This exercise transforms a simple ambition into a noble, virtuous quest. The second step is to apply your discipline. Use the power of consistent, focused action to channel your energy toward this virtuous goal, like the focused flame of the torch. The benefits of harnessing your inner fire are the benefits of achieving success without sacrificing your soul. You will be able to pursue ambitious goals with immense energy and drive, but without the destructive side effects of obsession and burnout. You will build a life that is not only successful on the outside, but is also deeply satisfying and virtuous on the inside. You will become a powerful, effective, and respected individual, a force for constructive achievement in the world. You will be the master of your own fire. Your final practice is to take your biggest ambition, put it through the virtue alignment exercise. Define how you will pursue this goal with wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. You have explored the 7 mindsets for achieving mental dominance. From embracing truth and stillness to harnessing your inner fire, this is the Stoic path to forging an unbreakable mind. Remember, the true empire is not the world outside, but the kingdom of your own reason. Master that, and you master all. Thank you for your time and your dedication with Stoic Ruler. If this journey has provided you with value, please support our mission by liking this video, commenting with your own insights, and subscribing for more explorations into the heart of Stoic wisdom.